It's clear that Kathleen Kennedy and Leslie Headland will never own up to their failure, especially when it comes to the catastrophe that was The Acolyte. Honestly, it's the worst Star Wars production Disney has ever allowed to crawl out from under Lucasfilm's rock since 2012. And, let's be real, most of what Lucasfilm has put out under Disney has been more of a miss than a hit. A downward spiral, the heart of the problem. Kathleen Kennedy's absolute lack of leadership and Bob Iger's pandering agenda over at Disney. Now, the drama over at Lucasfilm HQ is a complete disaster, all in the wake of the colossal failure that is The Acolyte. And here's the thing, the cancellation of this train wreck of a show is huge for Disney. It exposes just how much they've screwed up. The numbers from the Nielsen ratings don't lie. Despite all their efforts to mislead the public before the ratings dropped, they got caught, plain and simple, and had no choice but to pull the plug. What's particularly hilarious is Kathleen Kennedy's reaction. Behind the scenes, she's been in a standoff with Bob Iger, and it's just another sign of the chaos at Lucasfilm. Multiple Star Wars projects are being axed left and right, and we know who to blame. The woman's fingerprints are all over every failed Star Wars movie and TV show under Disney. But guess what? As long as she's in charge, this nonsense will continue. Lucasfilm is the laughingstock of Disney's divisions, and now we've got the juiciest development yet. Iger is fed up. In an effort to salvage Disney's crumbling Star Wars brand, Iger made a drastic move. He cut 6 Star Wars TV shows. Yes, you heard that right. 6 projects, many of which were supposed to spin off from The Acolyte and focus on its obscure, uninspired characters, are no more. And honestly, thank God, we dodged a bullet. What really set Kennedy off, though, was Iger cancelling her little pet projects. Shows that were supposed to expand the High Republic era. They were going to shove these Acolyte spin-offs down our throats, featuring forgettable characters like Osha, May, Vernestra, and some others no one cares about. But Iger, finally showing some common sense, scrapped it all. This decision left Kennedy fuming, especially after her remote meetings with Disney execs, where she desperately tried to cling to her dwindling power. The negotiations about her contract extension are still ongoing, but her plans to create a mini Star Wars universe with these Acolyte spin-offs are dead in the water. And while Iger says they'll still push their DEI agenda, they want nothing to do with shows that would even remotely resemble The Acolyte. Smart move, finally. But that's not all. Part of the reason Iger axed these projects was that Leslie Headland, the genius behind the Acolyte debacle, had already been removed from several of them. And after all the failures, even Iger's patience has worn thin. Yet Kennedy, in her usual delusion, has been blaming Iger for Star Wars' downward spiral. Sure, Iger's got his part in this mess. He's the one who keeps Kennedy employed. But let's not kid ourselves. Kennedy is the one single-handedly driving Lucasfilm into the ground. Want more proof? They banned George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, from even stepping foot on the Acolyte set. The man who made Star Wars wasn't allowed to have any influence. Talk about spitting on the legacy of the franchise. That's Kennedy's legacy in a nutshell. Now, on top of everything else, there's the ongoing drama about Kennedy's contract. Word is, we'll know by October whether she's out for good or not. Apparently, the fallout from the Acolyte disaster rattled Lucasfilm so badly that it's left her scrambling to find a new showrunner to carry on her disastrous agenda with whatever remains of her future projects. It's a circus over there, and Kennedy is the ringmaster. Despite all this, Disney's still pushing their DEI agenda. It's not going anywhere, but they're at least smart enough to ditch anything that resembles the Acolyte and start from scratch. They're shelving the projects that focused on Osha, Vernestra, and the rest of those forgettable characters. And thank God for that, because it would have been a total disaster if it moved forward. But let's face it, Disney Plus Star Wars content is done. Whether it's the Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, or whatever else they cook up, it's going to be a mess. Personally, I think Skeleton Crew looks like something you'd expect to see promoting a Disney theme park. It's like someone decided to mash together Star Wars, The Goonies, and Stranger Things, and the result: a jumbled, off-brand mess. If that's their big pitch for the future, Star Wars fans are in for a rough ride. And hey, the fact that some Disney board members are now turning on Kennedy, telling Iger not to give her the power to decide her own fate, is just the icing on the cake. We're watching Disney and Lucasfilm implode from the inside. But enough about that. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And if you liked the video, make sure to smash that like button and support the channel. Thanks for watching.